I'm running Zomato. I have, let's say, 2 CR to burn today. And I have to maximize GMV. Basically, I have to shell out discounts to users. What should be the approach to maximize the GMV? That's what we want to hear.
तोड़ना कैसे उसको सबसे सबसेट को
कि प्रीमियमनेस पे तोड़ोगे बिकॉज प्रीमियमनेस इज नॉट नेसेसरली एओवी किसी यूजर की हो सकता है 800 रुपए की हो, लेकिन वो ज्यादा डिस्काउंट सेंसिटिव है वर्सेस कोई अनदर यूजर जिसकी एओवी 300 रुपए है लेकिन वो कम डिस्काउंट सेंसिटिव है. तो
मजेदार क्वेश्चन है ये,
बहुत ही मजेदार क्वेश्चन.
You need to guesstimate how many number of people are getting married virgin.
So I'll just quickly take some time, maybe think through this.
We are more interested in the approach part. Hello everyone. So today we have Harshit Yadav with us. He's preparing for Product Analyst interviews and we'll be taking a mock interview session for him today. We have Ravi with us. He is a senior product analyst at Zomato. I am working in Moneyview. I'm a product analyst myself, and today we are going to start with a mock session for this. So yes, Harshit, let's start with a brief round of introduction. Tell us about something about yourself. Just go.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Nipun. Thanks a lot, Ravi. So myself, Harshit Yadav, a bits Goa graduate from 2021 with 3.5 years of experience in analytics. Currently, I lead the acquisition charter at PayU, and where I have strategized and executed initiatives that roughly resulted in a 20% increment in monthly acquisitions, over a period of 7 months or so, while also reducing the marketing costs by roughly 15%. Notably, I've identified a new subsegment where through predictive analysis, I drove the new user growth by 10%, and this led to earning the Act Like an Owner award and getting applauded by the business co-founders. Right. My role currently involves optimizing offers through A/B testing, managing a 50 lakh marketing budget for merchant offers, and collaborating with cross-functional teams such as tech, product, partnerships, etc. to ensure the seamless execution. Previously, I worked at Unicards. I spearheaded a gamified user engagement program there that improved 5-month retention rate by 10% roughly, and served as a foundation for a larger campaign. I've personally been recognized for this effort from my co-founders. Apart from that, I have hands-on experience with Power BI for automating reports, basic proficiency in Python, and experience in P&L and funnel analysis. Looking ahead, my ambition is to start something of my own. Apart from that, on personal level, I enjoy traveling. I like to try out new activities. Currently, I've joined dance. Apart from that, I play cricket on weekends.
Nice.
Interesting. So like you highlighted one of your projects wherein you talked about basically identifying that user cohort which had the best attention. So tell us more about this project. What was your role in it? How did it overall affected the wider in context, the overall company?
Right. So very interestingly, it was my first project, while going through KT sessions and all with my manager and with my peer group, I kind of figured out this problem that we have different models through which we onboard at LazyPay. So if I give you a basic understanding, LazyPay is a buy now pay later platform which you can through which you can pay on different merchant platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, etc. Right. So we make a risk model for users, and through that risk model, if let's say Nipun passes that particular score, let's say we have divided scores into 1 to 10, right? And we have said that everybody who has a score till 7 will be onboarded on LazyPay, right?
Okay.
So with that kept in mind, so that's the risk model that we currently function with.
What are the major contributing factors? What are the major contributing factors to this risk model?
So largely there are two things. Firstly, the payment gateway model score. So we use the PayU payment gateway model scores. The scores are directly fed into our system because PayU payments and PayU credit is a different entity. So at a user level, we just user scores from the PayU payment system. So all the payment gateway variables are used majorly. That is how the risk model is created.
Okay.
Right. So
please carry on.
Basis that we have created 10 deciles, and so far we onboard people in the first 7 deciles of it at different merchant levels. So just to give you an example, let's say if you onboard through Swiggy, if you go to Swiggy and you link our LazyPay platform through your OTP, a mobile number OTP, if you are below 7 in our risk score, you'll be onboarded, right? But now what I questioned was basically why not onboard the lower deciles, right? So the reply that I got from my manager was that lower deciles are riskier, right? And which I understand. But my follow-up question was, if they are riskier, some of the segments would not be riskier as much compared to the portfolio, right? Let's say somebody who is coming from a Zomato is more riskier than somebody who comes from Swiggy. And this is an inherent behavior that we have seen across different platforms. Right. So I said, let's onboard 8th decile from Swiggy and not onboard somebody from 8th decile on Zomato. Right. So that was the started. So like I did the predictive analysis on roughly 30-40 merchants, and through that I selected some 3-4 merchants on which we can open the lower deciles, and through that there was a 10% increment in the new user growth.
Yeah, got the gist, Harshit. You have written that across various merchants you used to run A/B tests on which acquisition offers to run. So maybe you could expand a bit more on what is the kind of elasticity that you saw in the demand. Basically, if you offer 50 rupees off on a certain Zepto and you offer the same 50 off on Zomato, what was the difference? And what were the parameters that you were seeing and judging this basis? What is good and what is not?
Right, understood. So basically, this was across the merchant platforms, we did not do the A/B tests, right? Because the kind of customers that come in through different platforms inherently are different, right? So just to give an example, let's say I did that test on Zomato. Just to give you one example, I tested out the average order value for Zomato is close to 350 rupees, and we were running an offer of 75 rupees on that, right? So flat 75 off, right? And another test that I wanted to run was, let's say we run a flat 20% offer. So basis that, roughly we'll give 70 rupees ka offer. Okay? So that I wanted to test, flat 20% versus flat 75 off. Now the idea behind this was basically to test to how we can save the cost, right? Because like even if it's 100 or 150 rupees order value, we still give out 75 rupees on a flat offer, right? Whereas flat 20% would relatively give us a lower CAC, right? So that was the idea behind running this. So elasticity in this sense was not regarding the new user growth, right? But as compared to, we were trying to save the costs, right? So in that particular case, we actually got our cost down to roughly by 30%. But to follow up with your question, let's say if you want to see the elasticity, we did this for Meesho. We ran a 50-75 rupees offer, right, on Meesho, and there 50, 75 and 100 for that matter, and there we saw that 75 rupees offer came as a peak, right, as compared to 50 and 75. It was a local maxima, as to say.
Got it. And inherently, what would you say? Basically, what I wanted to ask was, if let's say Zomato does X orders in a day, and out of those X orders, Y orders have option of LazyPay available on them.
Right.
So how many of those Y users actually use LazyPay? And can you compare this number to, let's say, a different platform, a quick commerce platform maybe, or a platform like Meesho, let's say, and how does this number differ across platforms?
Understood. So like how I would tell you, like probably make you understand this is, so platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, the inorganic new user growth is relatively lower as compared to a platform like Myntra or Meesho, right? Maybe so just to quote numbers, it is almost twice, 2x the number of inorganic user growth. By inorganic user growth, I mean is that somebody who comes to the platform and uses the offer and then gets onboarded, right? So there are two kinds of users who would not use the offer but still come into our platform, and one, somebody who uses the offer and comes to our platform. So somebody who uses the offer, Meesho and Myntra, almost there is a 2x increase in the new user acquisitions through inorganic channel.
Got it.
Interesting. So any more questions, or should we go ahead with the next?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
So we have a interesting guesstimate for you to solve. It's an interesting one. So basically, you need to guesstimate how many number of people are getting married virgin. Okay? Any doubt? Ask. But I guess it's self-explanatory.
I'll just write down the question first.
Yeah. Take your time. Think through the approach. We are more interested in the approach part.
So I'll just reiterate the problem statement. How many people are getting married virgin, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just quickly take some time, maybe think through this. It's
Sure.
Okay, so few quick questions. We talking about India here?
Yes, let's take context of India.
Okay, and when we talk about number of people getting married virgin, so I wanted to understand the quick context that, let's say, so a couple would be counted as one, or
No.
the number of people?
No, couple won't be counted as one. Basically, one of the part of the couple can be a virgin and the other one can.
Yeah, that was my question. So in that case,
Yes.
also 1% would be counted as virgin, right?
Yes.
So the final answer should be number of people. So let's say if both are virgin, so 2. If either one of them is virgin, then 1.
Okay, understood. This clarifies.
Yes.
Sure. I think it's a little bit unorthodox question, so I'll take some time to just reflect back on how to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harshit, maybe you can string us along the approach.
Sure.
and we can
So what I'm
talk through.
currently
Yes.
divide this into two particular segments. One would be the tier 1 city segment, and the other would be tier 2 city segments. And then I'll subsegment this into. So basically, first what I'll do is I'll try to get the number of people who are married, right? Or maybe like a segment ki this particular age group is supposed to be married, so these many people are eligible into our segment, right? And then I'll subsegment into, like, let's say tier 1, tier 2. The understanding is people in tier 1 cities are said to have live-in relationships. Those kinds of concepts are more open, right, in tier 1
Okay.
cities compared to tier 2, tier 3 cities. So basis that, we can make a guess that probably they would have had multiple partners before getting married, and hence we can take a percentage of that, right? So that is the approach that I'm taking. Maybe like I don't want to, like, maybe you can pitch in if whatever you feel sounds more accurate. This sounds good to you? Hello?
Yes. More or less, this sounds okay. Let's get ahead with this.
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing, like, basically what cuts you're trying to take.
Okay.
Also, would you think that, income class would play a certain role in here?
Yeah,
Would want
definitely.
to-
Yeah, I think income class would definitely play a role. Like
Okay.
so just to give you a logic, so somebody who earns a decent income of, let's say, 1 lakh per annum, a tier 1 city would be more open to let's say a live-in relationship sort of a structure, right? Even in like a tier 1 city or a tier 3 city, if you compare, there would be a different percentage in terms of somebody who is open to such kind of concepts, right? Because like in tier 2, tier 3 cities, even though if people have a decent income level, but the kind of ideologies they come from, this might not be that prevalent. The concept of like virginity before getting married is not that prevalent.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you want me to like put down a number with this, or?
Yeah, you
It's
can
fine,
come
like-
up with a rough number. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Top of the head calculations.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So while you're like calculating these numbers, what are you calculating for? Like for a certain time period, like in a year or?
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, that's what. So what I'm currently doing is I'm trying to figure out a particular, between a particular age gap, how many people fall, and making a cut.
I think, Harshit, we should go in an approach wherein you say कि in 2024 these many people will get married, and out of these many people, these many would marry virgin. I think I want these three fill in the blanks. Ki how many people will get married and what percentage of these people will get married virgin. That's all.
Okay. Right, sure. So I have like few numbers in mind. Let's say, just to give you a context, just to set a context, roughly like 33 lakh weddings happen in
one second. Don't go with that 33 lakh ka number. We should come up with a number of our own to measure how many people get married in a year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sure, I can do that. Okay, so a rough number I have calculated. So like the population is 100 CR. Let's assume the population of India is 100 CR, and then I have like divided it into different age groups: 1 to 18, 18 to 35, and then 35 to 60 and that above. And I have distributed it like 60% falls in 18 to 35. So 60 CR in 18 to 35 segment, 20 CR in 35 above, and 20 CR in 1 to 18, right? So the legal age is above 18, so I'll just discard the 1 to 18 age group, right?
Okay, that's fine.
Now from the 60 CR and then 20 CR, I have taken, so not all of them would be marrying in a year, right? So 18 to 35 is roughly a 17-year gap, right? So I'll just take, let's say 10% of it will be getting married in a year, right? So that's the estimate that I've taken. And then 35 and above, I'm again taken a 10% of it, but that's a larger age group, 35 to 60, also a lower segment where people will get married, right? So this is a rough, so with that 6 CR in 1 year from the 18 to 35 segment, and 2 CR in 1 year from a 35 above segment, 8 CR people will be getting married annually is roughly my number, right? We can
8 CR people.
Yeah,
I think that's
4 crore weddings.
4 crore.
That's don't you think that's a very rich number, that we have come up with? I think maybe I
guess there's one estimation that you took that for that 18 to 35, 17 years. So 10% of people are getting married in a year. So that will amount to 170, right?
I
you
think
should take 1 upon 17.
And I think one more thing there. You could basically also divide that 18 to 35 into various age groups. Let's say 18 to 22, 22 to 26, 26 to 30, and then 30 to 35. For each age bracket, you could say that the probability of these guys getting married in this is this much. Because the probability of 18 to 22 getting married, I think, would be less when comparing to the probability of bucket 22 to 26.
Right. I actually thought about it, but I thought like for simplicity of calculation, that's all. I just took this, but it seems like a overestimation of numbers.
Yeah, I think if you will adjust these by various these factors that we discussed, I think the realistic number here would be somewhere around 1 crore people getting married. Yeah, 1 CR people getting married. So let's say 50 lakh marriages. And you can take this 50 lakh marriages and then we can go to the forward part of this.
Yeah, sure.
Also, 20% of our population is Muslim. Many of them are doing multiple marriages. Should you account for that as well? Just for simplicity, we should not agree. But yeah, something to think about. You can.
But I think 20% of population might be Muslim, but I think the percentages of people getting married to multiple people is way less compared to the 20%. So I think we can ignore that.
Yes.
And also I was thinking we need to, like fair estimation, but fair assumption. But for this simplicity of calculation, I think we can like go ahead and not include it.
Yes. Now the interesting part. Next.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in the supply and demand part of this. Basically.
That should play out well.
I mean, if it's like communicated in a way that both parties should be,
Yes.
Okay, give me a moment.
Sure.
Another nice estimation could be number of like basically marriage का कितना part economy में पैसा circulate हो रहा है. Like if it's 1 crore weddings और फिर Indian rich weddings जैसे अभी अंबानी वाली wedding हुई. So वो like मतलब कि just estimate कि कितना वो economy को contribute कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, that could be
another good.
Actually, the more politically correct question would be that only. And
that's why I thought put me in a controversial situation here by asking this question.
We hope that future employers don't see this.
I hope so.
And if they see, they should find your approach so good that they'll hire you on just this video.
Approach only.
Yeah. So yeah, you can like just simply reach out to Ravi Motwani for Zomato referrals and Harshit Yadav for future referrals.
Middle income, high income, right?
So guys, we also did this similar video with Avi Chauhan, our very first video. Same that what was his interview experience. It was more like an interview experience. A lot of people reached out to Avi on LinkedIn asking, hello bhaiya, how did you do it? Humko bhi batao, and also please refer us. So yeah, I'm sure Ravi Motwani tumhe messages aane wale kafi.
And I also want people to know that he actually did clear his interview and he did get that job.
Right. So it might take some time to calculate these numbers, but I'll just give you the overall view. Right. So we talked 50 lakh weddings, right? So 50 lakh weddings or 1 crore population will get married.
Right.
divided this into like two different groups: tier 1 city, tier 2 city, which will be a 30 to 70% ratio. So 30 lakh people in tier 1 and 70 lakh in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Now the further subsegment is basically income level subsegment: high income, medium, middle income, and below poverty line. Right, these are the three segments that I've taken in both tier 1 and tier 2.
Okay.
For tier 1, I have taken high, medium, BPL ratio as 10%, 40%, and 50% in tier 1. Right. Similarly, for tier 2, tier 3, the same ratio is 5%, 35%, and 60%.
What
Right.
are these ratios again?
These are the percentage of population belonging to high income in tier 1.
Acha, okay.
Right.
Got it.
So basically, 60% of people live below poverty line in rural areas, right?
Rural areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And in this, now I have taken a percentage of how many people would be virgins, right?
Okay.
That's a complete estimation of like how I see the percentage falling out. So like in tier 1, high income group, which belongs to 10%, I've taken that 50% of the people when getting married would be belonging to would be called as virgins. Middle income group would be 30%, and below poverty line 10%. That's just a estimation of basis the ideas and stigmas and like whatever you call it, right? Basis that. In some
Harshit, 1 second. Would the female and male ratios be the same across urban and rural areas?
like in the sense that female and male ratios, the percentage of virgins.
Yes.
So that's a good question. I thought about it. That it may vary, but like to an understanding, I feel that it might not, is what I felt. But like if you have any pointer like because of which it might vary quite a lot, I would be happy to like incorporate it.
Matlab, the first counter that I have in mind is prostitution, basically.
Yeah.
That's basically one lady giving
Skewing the skew कर रही है question को.
I understand like that did come to my mind, but I just thought I did not have complete understanding of what percentage of that belongs to that particular segment, because like the localities I don't hear a lot of such news. So like just for the simplicity of the calculation here, I probably thought it's a very small population of it, and hence I did not include it. Probably it's better that I would have communicated it earlier. That definitely would have made sense.
Yes, no worries.
Okay.
The second part was that the tier 2 segmentation. Again, in tier 2 segmentation, I have taken the ratios as high income group would have a 30% population who.
So this is again like you are saying it's same for male and female.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Like what are the factors? Do you think it would be same, or there are factors that might deviate for male and female?
I mean, so what I understand
is
in this particular. Yeah, go ahead.
One interesting factor, like basically in Indian society, लड़के बड़े होते हैं, लड़कियां छोटी होती है, जब से शादी हो रही है, तो and in general, so basically लड़कों को ज़्यादा time मिलता है to explore their that adulthood period compared to a woman, right? So I guess that male female number would be different, I suppose so. Like this one factor might affect it, and then again their exposure to.
Yes, Nipun pointed out a really good axis to look things at. Another would be if you, let's say, open any dating app in any of the top in tier 1 cities, the demand and supply there also is very different for males to females. And I think that could also impact in the ratios being different. Because if you see, the females matching to boys would be much higher compared to the boys matching to girls.
Mhm.
So that could also be different, I feel, in urban areas as well.
So like in urban areas, that's what like we see that a lot of guys match to. So we see fewer, a lot more guys on the platform as compared to girls, right? That is what you wanted to point out, and basis that you want to make an estimation that probably the experience that boys have would be like.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that they could be different, and there are various factors that we know that tell us that they are different.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe like so
Yeah.
both of the arguments are fair. Probably should have been included in this. Yeah.
Sure. No, but like, we get your part. I guess we can close this guesstimate down here.
Mhm.
Right. And next, let's, Ravi, do you have any big question?
Yes. So basically, we'll do a question on the fact that you can make plenty of assumptions here. Be bold enough to make any assumptions that you want. See the problem as you think that most people should feel about the problem, and not how you feel that it is currently being solved. So it would be something like, let's say I'm running Zomato. I have, let's say, 2 CR to burn today, and I have to maximize GMV. Basically, I have to shell out discounts to to users. I have 2 crores of total money to burn today on discounts, and I want to maximize my GMV for the day. Okay.
Mhm.
And you can assume that how many so of number you can, let's say, assume that we do about 20 lakh orders in a day, and so basically play around that number, and yeah.
Your
Understood.
final goal over here is to maximize GMV. Given
And what
this one
should be
constraint.
what should be the approach to maximize the GMV? That's what we want to hear.
Mhm. Understood.
Right.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate the problem statement just for the clarity and alignment. So we have a 2 CR budget for promotional offers, right? And we want to shell that out in order to maximize GMV, right?
Yes.
The additional information we have is like Zomato does 2 lakh orders in a day.
20 lakh orders in a day.
20.
Sorry, yeah, 20 lakh orders in a day. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll quickly like just try to run through some of my initial thoughts, and
And one thing more to clarify, that 20 lakh number is just to give you an idea of the scale of the business that we are running. That should not be in any way indicative of the GMV calculation that you're going to make.
yeah,
That's yes.
understood. Yeah.
So in the meantime, I'll just revise. These are more, I guess, advanced questions. You would usually get these type of questions in your senior product analyst type of roles.
Yes.
Not exactly for initial roles only. Over there, you might have case studies. But since Harshit is preparing for now senior roles, so these are the type of interview questions that you'll get. And you will usually get these questions by the third round, in your final rounds of your interviews. So these are make or break moments, since this is what people higher up in the chain really judge you upon.
Yes. So
Uh-huh,
basically,
something.
Harshit here has 3.5, 4 years of experience. So he has worked as a business analyst, product analyst for the past 4 years. So basically, interviewers want to judge whether the thinking is in the correct direction or not. They want to see the direction only here. Basically, the ideas must be aligned to the reality of the world.
And in general, like basically these people get to know how good your product sense, business sense is around,
Yes.
since you have been working for 3-4 years now. If you guys want to like check out these type of content, there's this one book, Decode and Conquer. It has really good these type of questions, these advanced type of questions that you can go through.
Right. So like some initial thoughts, just wanted to like maybe know something and also align on like my ideology or thought process. So I'll just first quickly align with the GMV. So GMV equals to price per order multiplied by number of orders in a day. Right? That would be GMV per day.
Sure.
The other thing that I wanted to know was the 2 CR budget. That budget is to be spent in a month,
Day.
in a day.
In a day.
That's it.
In a day.
In a day. The other thing that I wanted to know was, so as per our understanding, GMV is what we want to prioritize, right?
Right.
Apart from that, do we have any? So this 2 CR budget involves marketing costs like WhatsApp
Nothing.
notifications.
This is just discounts.
Purely discounts.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And this discount could include giving offers like free delivery and things like that, right?
You can assume that all deliveries are free deliveries, and
Okay.
another thing that you can assume is, you can for now assume that all deliveries are free deliveries.
Okay. Understood. And these discounts would be, can I include partnership with payment partners also in this or
No,
not?
I think that's a very
No.
small. Just ignore that partnership thing.
Okay. Understood. Sure. Cool. Yeah. I think like more or less in terms of like clarification, these were the things that I wanted to know. I'll just go ahead, maybe like define a framework, and maybe I'll take you through my thoughts meanwhile, right?
Yes.
Right.
And we would like to make this more interactive, so you can barge in whenever you're ready.
Sure. Yeah. Just give me maybe a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So like what I'm currently thinking is, so we can take one metric at a time. So what I'm currently optimizing for is price per order, right? So if we want to increase the GMV, we can increase the price per order in order to increase the GMV, right? Now, so with that, one of the quick things that can come up to your mind is maybe I give a combo offer, wherein if a user goes to a particular platform, right? And let's say if he is buying a McD burger, you give a free, what do you say? You give a free Coke order, or maybe like a discount on a additional Coke, or maybe a combo offer of buy two, buy two burgers and get one Coke free, something like that, right? So this would be one of the options. Now, what I'm trying to basically do here is segment this first. So the idea would be to segment it so that we can create a strategy out of it, right? So that's the initial thought process. Maybe what I'll do is like for segmenting this, what I'll do is frequency of orders, right? That I'll take somebody who does higher number of orders in a day, like high, medium, low, or high or low. Let's say we have defined these two segments. Then we can separately give them different combination offers to these two segments. Is the understanding?
Harshit, I would also like you to think into the fact that elasticity will also vary between customer segments, and a 50 rupee discount to you might not be same as a 50 rupee discount to another customer. So you can also think of a factor which takes into account this propensity to order with every additional 10 rupee discount.
Okay, understood. I'm just trying to think it from your lens. So
Probably
what the one factor that we can think about is maybe we can take the size of the order into account while giving out the offers, right? While shelling out the offers, let's say just to add to your point, somebody who is making a whose average order value is 500 rupees, right? Versus somebody whose average order value is 150 or 200 rupees, let's say. So shelling out a 50 rupees offer to a 200 rupees order value is higher as compared to a 500 rupees average order value.
Basically, what I'm trying to say that if let's say there is a pool of users who orders items ranging 100 to 150, okay, and there is a range of customers who order items from let's say 700 to 800. So what would you say that adding 50, giving 50 rupees discount to this set of customers whose order value is less than 150? Basically, their propensity to order, or their coming on the app and definitely ordering, that percentage for this user set who has a lesser AOV would I think increase with every rupee discount that you add. Right. And the other set of users who already has an order value of 750, 800 rupees, if you give out discount of 25 rupees, it won't matter much to them.
Yeah, I understood. Yeah. Yeah,
and in a similar fashion, you can think about from restaurant lens as well, that there are certain restaurants which normally get orders, but there are some restaurants which are more of discount led, that people tend to order from those places when they are running discounts, right? So there is a clear segmentation over there as well. So both from user and restaurant level, like try and get that GMV elasticity into that equation.
Okay, understood. Okay, yeah. I'll just maybe I'll just take a step back and think about it.
For these type of questions, well, in general, it is for users. Harshit, you continue. For these type of questions, you want to be aligned as much you can with your interviewer. Basically, like you guys should be thinking on the same line, and that's why whenever you are thinking through something, talk it out loud, because if you deviate from that path, they will try and correct you and take that feedback loop again and go to the same path. So if you think out loud, you will have much more feedback loops, and hence you have much more better chance of converging at the same point itself.
Yes.
And that's where you want to be. So try and get as much more feedback in these interview sessions, because like if you take much longer time by yourself, let's say you are taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes on your own solving it, then you don't know basically if you guys are aligned or not. So like over here, Harshit simply presented his approach initially. We had a quick round of discussion. Okay, how are we thinking about the problem? What are the type of solutions that we are looking for? And now he got back to it. And then basically we'll again get back to the second round of discussion.
Right. So like
Yes.
the approach that I've taken, again, like as per our discussion on average order value, I have, so like first level easier way of implementing a strategy would be to divide average order value into like some segments, right? So currently I've divided into high, medium, low. As per my knowledge, medium average order value for a Zomato platform would be somewhere around 300-350 rupees, right?
Yes.
A low would be somewhere around 100-150, and higher order value is somewhere around 800,000 segmentation, right? It's the segmentation that I've taken currently. Now, so we can take different approaches for these three different segments, right? Firstly, let's say if you talk about somebody who has a higher average order value, right? Probably a discount which would sound like maybe something like get discount on your next particular order would make a lot more sense for me, because if he comes back on the second order, the average order value might be
Harshit, we have to maximize GMV for the day. So the
Right.
discounts,
Okay.
if the second order has to come today only, then only your this
Right.
strategy would work.
Okay. So in that case, like something that quickly comes to my mind would be something called limited time offer, right? That is something we can roll out. Let's say like if you make a second order in like next 5 hours or so, something like that. So that would be one of the approaches. Let's say for a lower segment where the average order value is 100 rupees or 150, you would want to increase it upfront because you know that that is a lower value. And so my understanding is increasing from 100 to 200 rupees would not be that big a challenge as compared to increasing 800 rupees to 1,000, 1,200 rupees increment, right?
Wouldn't sizes of these cohorts also matter here? If let's say you told me the bands at which they operate, but the relative sizes of these cohort also matters, right?
Okay, by the sizes you mean, let's say how many orders are of 100 or 150 rupees,
yes,
and how many orders are, that exactly would matter. I think that is one point I should have considered. While probably allocate, so this would be more relevant while allocating the budget,
yes,
rather than making the strategy itself.
Right.
So like as I was speaking, maybe a combo offer for a lower average order value segment will make more sense. Like add XYZ to your existing cart and you'll get this much offer, right? Would be the understanding. Now,
yes.
The other thing that we can consider is again that you talked about the frequency of orders, right, of each segment, right? Probably what we can also do is try to understand. So there could be user segments in each of the segments where the number of orders are high, medium, low, right? A user segment in lower average order value who is doing, let's say, 4 orders in a day versus in the signal segment who is doing lesser number of orders in a day.
Yes.
So that is again, like it would be a similar kind of approach where the number of orders would matter. If you know if somebody is doing more number of orders, probably you would want to nudge that user to again like something like a limited time offer concept. Or maybe if you know that a particular user does more number of orders, you would want to let's say give him an offer of free gold membership, right? Which has like a lot more perks and improves your user retention. Like that would also improve in the longer term, but also in the day itself, right? So the larger strategy is, let's say if you want to maybe like probably what I'm thinking, you can chip in here. Somebody who has higher retention in a particular day or higher number of orders in a particular day, you would want to like give lower incentives to that particular user because he's already an engaged user for us, right?
Okay.
As compared to somebody who has lower number of orders in a day, we want to give him a richer offer, as per to say, which would be let's say giving a gold membership, also on top of that creating a loyalty program for that user, right? So again, this is a longer term purview.
Harshit, I think we will stick to offering discounts only and not discuss product-led interventions here.
Okay, understood. So would gold membership be included as product?
Yeah, that is also a product intervention. We will just focus on the discounts here.
Okay, understood. So again, the ideology would be to give, like as I talked about, somebody who is less engaged with you in a day, give richer offers as compared to somebody who is more engaged to us. Probably like if you want me to like get into the details of what kind of offers would work in different segments, we can go into that.
No, I'm more interested in the fact that what user segment cross price bucket they operate in get what quanta of discount.
What you're trying to say, what you were trying to say, what I got was like basically you were trying to optimize for deal seekers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the type of people who like have already been retained, you don't want to spend much more on them, but the deal seekers who are basically you are trying to optimize for these type of users with your budget currently. Is that understanding correct?
Yeah, so the allocation of budget would be dependent on that. you would want to provide offers on all the, high, medium, low, cross the frequency of orders. You would want to shell out to each segment, but basis the segment that we are wanting to like cut down. That is what I was talking about.
That's what we are trying to get to. Basically, what we would want to know is what are these factors that you would take into account for allocating these budget? What would be that mathematical formula that might come for these segmentations, and what would be those factors that would influence that allocation, and how can you then skew these distributions towards your advantage of increasing this GMV?
Okay, understood. So like so far what I understand is probably you want some mathematical calculation through which we can actually like try to understand what is the strategy.
Yes.
Right. Let's not go towards the deal part. Like basically the combo offers or those things. Those come second in order to it.
Yes.
But
first we should identify what burn I am using for every customer segment. Then we can devise a strategy. What kind of burn should be there? We basically combo offers or things like that. 650 off, 70 off, whatever like that.
Okay, understood.
Like probably, let's say if I spend 20 lakh over here, I might get a return of, let's say 2 CR, and post which, let's say I start seeing diminishing returns. And that's why I'll move to the next cohort. Like this is how probably we would want to have an idea about these things.
Understood. So I'll just do segmentation first, and basis that probably we should move forward. The segmentation that we talked about. Yeah.
Guys, and this is also the kind of questions that you will encounter in senior product analysts or these sort of jobs in companies like Zomato, Zepto, Swiggy, all these companies. And because and it is also similar to the kind of questions that government must also think. Like, let's say the fiscal budget for a year is also fixed. We have a fiscal budget of, let's say, 4 lakh crores, and then we have to maximize the GDP growth or maximize the GDP growth of various basically divide that GDP growth into various industries and then look to solve that and allocate budget spaces that. So it's also interesting in that way. There are various parallels that you can draw.
And as you move more into the leadership role, analytics manager, more and more these type of questions would be asked, because on your daily activities, these are the type of problems that you would be solving.
Yes.
For example, a real life example, you are an analytics manager, you have four or five different analysts working for you. Most of the time, you will always be overburdened with the number of questions, number of like people asking you, have these dashboards, all in that. So you need to prioritize among these things. It's just like that prioritization. So that's where you need to be like, okay, which are the things that will bring the most impact towards the business, and we as a team are going to go after it. One interesting thing, like in this question I was thinking, do you think the number of hours of a day would also be a great factor in the equation? Hypothesis being, रात को लोग ऐसे लेजी होते हैं, और इन जनरल सुबह को लोग ज़्यादा डील सीकिंग हो सकते हैं. मैं एक्टिव हूँ दिमाग से, मैं कंपेयर करूँगा प्राइसेस, जोमेटो, स्विगी, हु इज गिविंग मी ऑफर्स. रात तक आई एम बेसिकली लेस लाइकली, मुझे पता है क्या मंगाना है, एंड आई एम लाइकली टू ऑर्डर ऐसा, डायरेक्टली गोइंग टू माय फेवरेट रेस्टोरेंट्स, क्विकली ऑर्डरिंग.
एक और फैक्टर ले सकते हैं, वो इंटरेस्टिंग होगा थोड़ा. क्विजीन भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकता है, कि कोई जापानीज खा रहा है वर्सेस कोई इंडियन चाट खा रहा है, तो डिस्काउंट प्रोपेंसिटी क्या डिफरेंट होगी दोनों सेगमेंट्स की.
मेरे ख्याल से हाँ, मतलब जैसे ऑर्डरिंग 1200 sushi, 1600 sushi for me wouldn't make much of a difference if I'm offered a discount, because मैं पहले से सोच के आया हूँ कि अगर मुझे सुशी खानी है तो ठीक है.
तो बेसिकली क्या सर्च से ऑर्डर करे तो क्या डिफरेंट डिस्काउंट दे, या फिर होम पेज से ऑर्डर करे तो डिफरेंट डिस्काउंट दे. मतलब होम पेज पे सर्च मतलब बेसिकली हाईली इंटेंट है तुम्हारा, तुमने पाव भाजी सर्च किया है, पाव भाजी खानी है तुमको, तो वहां पे क्या डिस्काउंट कम दे, वर्सेस जो पाव भाजी की लिस्टिंग है होम पेज पे, वहां तो तुम एक्सप्लोर करके भी पहुंच सकते हो. तो
प्लस चार्ट वाले में मेरे ख्याल से चीजें एडिशन फटाफट हो सकती है. आई एम थिंकिंग आई हैव अ वड़ा पाव, बट एक समोसा पे फिर 50% ऑफ में ही मिल रहा है. मतलब मेरा इक्वेशन ऐसे बैठेगी डिलीवरी के बाद, तो फिर मैं शायद से खा लूंगा, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं. तो वहां पर हो सकता है. क्यूजीन भी एक अच्छा.
Right. So, sorry, like, are you guys there?
Yes.
Meanwhile, I was hearing quite interesting viewpoints from you, but I was into doing my calculation. Yeah. So, like, what I have done is, like, I'll quickly. Probably this is not complete, but I wanted to just give you an understanding. So, what I've done is, like, I have made a segment. I have made 2 segments and then made a cross tab of it. Average order value, which would be high and low. High would be 500 or above, and low would be like below that, right? And frequency of order, which is again high and low. We can call frequency of order as 3 greater than 3 as high, and less than that as low. But number does not really matter here. Like, but I have also allocated the percentages, just like you mentioned. What percentage of orders from 20 lakhs would be coming to this, coming to each segments. So high average order value and high frequency of order would be 20% of the orders, right? And I'll just give you why, because this is a relative metric. So let me start with low average order value and low frequency, right? That is 10% of it, because as you know, if you have a low average order value, you get, मतलब आपको delivery fee वगैरह लग जाती है. So like general tendency is कि थोड़ा higher side पे हो, ठीक है? So that's 10% of the orders. Then low average order value and high frequency is what I see a lot of people doing relatively more. So I have given it a like 30% weightage. 30% of the orders will be coming from that. High average order value, but low frequency is 40%, right? And again 20% is high average order value and high frequency, right? So you can just quickly do the math of like how many orders would be coming, or what is the GMV. I've finally calculated the GMV here, basis which we can make this strategy, right? That is what we want.
Yes.
So in each of the segments, one second, we just do the
Guys, in the interest of time, we'll go another 15 minutes and then we'll stop.
Sure.
Yeah. I should try to wrap this up in another 15 minutes.
Yeah, sure. So basically, what we see is average order value, which is high, irrespective of the frequency of orders. The GMV split in average order value high is 50-50, right? I would want to, probably I'll explain this in Hindi, so वो better.
Yeah, works.
Yes.
तो मैंने बेसिकली क्या किया है कि एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू एक का 500 माना है, हायर वाले का लेट्स से 500 मान लिया, एंड लोअर वाले का फॉर इंटरेस्ट ऑफ टाइम एंड एवरीथिंग 250 रुपीज मान लिया। ठीक है, उसके और मैंने परसेंटेजेस मेरे को पता ही है कि कितने कितने माने हैं, उसके बेसिस पे मैंने जीएमवी कितना पड़ेगा वो मैंने कैलकुलेट कर लिया। ठीक है, तो एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू जिसका हाई है वो फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर हाई या फिर लो हो 2020 ही आ रहा है। ठीक है, मतलब उसका जो वैल्यू है एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू इज 2020।
ठीक है,
ठीक है, एंड जो एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू जहां पे लो है उनका रिस्पेक्टिव है 10 and 5, जो बेसिस परसेंटेजेस जो मैंने कैलकुलेट किया है। ठीक है, इज दिस, ये समझ में आ गया ना आपको?
ये इनका जीएमवी का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो गया।
हाँ, ये जीएमवी का
चार जो क्रॉस टैब बना है हमारा, अलग अलग क्रॉस टैब में किसका जीएमवी कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना कितना है ना?
हाँ, राइट, किसका जीएमवी कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना कितना है वो मिल गया। जस्ट कैलकुलेशन के बेसिस पे ये आ रहा है कि जिसका एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू हाई है वो दोनों फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर के बेसिस पे बराबर हैं, इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से।
ओके, ठीक है।
नाउ बेसिस दीज सेगमेंट्स हमें, बिकॉज एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू बढ़ाना है, हमें जीएमवी इंक्रीज करना है, तो हम हर सेगमेंट पे डिफरेंट एलोकेशन ऑफ बजट डाल सकते हैं। ठीक है, ये आई कैन फर्दर गो डाउन इनटू, गिव मी प्रॉब्ली अ मिनट और सो, मैं इसमें थोड़ा सा सोच के आई विल कम बैक टू यू।
श्योर।
So now like this would be the thinking part wherein कि what exactly would be the strategy कि एक बार GMV बन गई है, ये buckets बन गए हैं, so how do I decide कि कहाँ से मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा increase आएगा, हाँ, और कहाँ तक मुझे invest करना चाहिए।
हाँ, कि एक स्ट्रैटेजी हो सकती है कि मैं लो फ्रीक्वेंसी और लो एओवी वाले को ही पूरा 2 करोड़ बांट दूं कि यार इनकी फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या पता बढ़ जाए और क्या पता इनका एओवी बढ़ जाए।
तो इधर हर्षित फील फ्री टू टेक असम्पशंस जो देखो अपने से लगे कि प्रोबेबली शायद से इन लोगों को डिस्काउंट्स देंगे, तो हो सकता है दीज आर प्योरली योर असम्पशंस, टेक दिस असम्पशंस, स्टेट देम आउट।
So that's what I wanted to understand. तो यहाँ पे आपको एग्जैक्ट नंबर चाहिए क्या कि हम किधर पे कितना?
नहीं, बेसिकली तू उस एंगल से सोच कि इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ, मतलब इलास्टिसिटी कैसे में वेरी करेगी,
कहाँ पे पैसा डालेंगे तो ज्यादा
आरओआई आएगा, कहाँ पे ज्यादा आरओआई।
एग्जैक्टली,
ठीक है, समझ गया ना।
और आप जैसे जो YouTube वीडियो आप देख रहे हो और जिनको एड्स दिख रही हैं, तो बेसिकली कंपनीज भी एसेंशियली जो आरओआई हम बोल रहे हैं, वो रिटर्न ऑन एड स्पेंड वाला भी पूरा सिमिलर ही कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट हो गया लगभग कि मैं कहाँ ऐड दिखाऊंगा कि मेरे को रोएस सबसे ज्यादा आएगा, मैं कैसी ऐड दिखाऊंगा तो रोएस सबसे ज्यादा आएगा, सॉर्ट ऑफ डिफरेंट फैक्टर्स जिस पे एड्स ऑप्टिमाइज करते हैं।
फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे अब ये वाला वीडियो है हमारा, इट वुड मेक सेंस फॉर यू गाइज कि जैसे इस पे कोई एजुकेशनल कंटेंट कोई अपना सेल कर रहा हो, कोर्सेज सेल कर रहा हो, वो वाले वीडियोस इस पे आए, रादर देन लेट्स से अ ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट वैसा। सो दैट्स व्हाट इवन यूट्यूब इज ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व फॉर कि हाउ डू दे इंक्रीज ROS। एंड जैसे वो एक इलॉन मस्क ने बहुत ही बढ़िया बोला था ट्विटर पे कि एडवर्टाइजिंग शुड बी सो सीमलेस कि इट डजंट इवन फील लाइक कि वो कंटेंट बीच में ऐड का था, इट शुड फील लाइक अ पार्ट ऑफ द ओवरऑल प्रोसेस। सो जैसे ट्विटर का यू वुड हैव सीन, उनके जो एड्स हैं आर सो लाइक यू नो इन सिंक विद द फीड दैट यू हैव नाउ दैट a lot of times I don't even realize it's an ad.
नहीं, और ट्विटर पे तो वो भी बहुत सीमलेसली करते हैं ना लोग कि ट्वीट में ही कैसे ऐड, वो ट्वीट है कि ऐड आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि वो ट्वीट में बात की होगी बॉर्नवीटा की, आपको लग रहा होगा वो ऑर्गेनिक है, लेकिन वो मोस्ट टाइम्स पे इनऑर्गेनिक ही होगी। मतलब मोस्ट टाइम्स शायद मैं गलत हूँ या सही हूँ, मुझे भी नहीं पता कि वो सही में ऐड थी कि नहीं।
And that should be the final objective of an ad.
हाँ,
Right. Interesting
Yes.
point. So again, like I'll just take you through the logic. I feel that so basis the elasticity, just giving you my thought process. Somebody who has higher order value and higher frequency, right? The weightage that you have seen towards the GMV is quite high, right? And the idea is to increase the GMV there. But the idea is that somebody who has higher frequency for higher average order value, probably again the elasticity that there might not be high to additionally increase the GMV to an extent, right? Because what we
Or
are
the
trying to do is
frequency. Or the
Sorry?
frequency.
or the frequency.
Yes.
Right, exactly, or the frequency. So the budget allocated here would be relatively lower, like even though the GMV contribution is higher, right? As
Okay.
compared to somebody who does higher number of higher frequency but lower average order value, there is a good chance that if you give the person a discount, the frequency also might increase and the average order value also might increase, where just like we talked about, maybe giving a combo offer or something like that would make a lot more sense. So what it seems like, average order value, higher average order value would entail a lower a lower allocation budget, as
Okay.
and as compared to like again, like probably like in the interest of time I'll just speak in Hindi so that it's better. मतलब the whole idea is कि जिसका average order value high है, ठीक है, एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा है, उसकी इलास्टिसिटी रिलेटिवली सबसे कम होगी टुवर्ड्स द ऑफर्स, एज कंपेयर टू एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू हाई है एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर लो है. आप लो फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर को ट्राई कर सकते हो इंक्रीज कराने का, एज कंपेयर टू एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू ही बढ़ा दो, राइट?
और व्हाट डू यू फील कि फ्रीक्वेंसी को बढ़ाना या फिर एओवी को बढ़ाना ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट किसको बढ़ाना होगा?
आई थिंक सो फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ाना थोड़ा वो है, बिकॉज इन इंटरेस्ट ऑफ टाइम ऑल्सो, कि आपको सेम डे ही बढ़ाना है, राइट? तो यूजुअली इज द अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज कि बंदा मल्टीपल ऑर्डर्स एक बार में नहीं करता है, राइट? जैसे मैं तो यहाँ पे हाई लो एक पर्टिकुलर डेफिनेशन बना रखी है कि जो 3 या 3 से कम ऑर्डर कर रहा है, तो बंदा दिन में एक पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ अमाउंट ही ऑर्डर करता है. मतलब कि अगर वो बाहर खाना खा रहा है तो 3 ही बार ही खाएगा और 3 ही बार ऑर्डर करेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं करेगा. तो रिलेटिवली बढ़ाना, फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ाना ज्यादा टफ है एज कंपेयर टू एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू इंक्रीज करना, इज व्हाट आई फील.
Okay.
Right. So with respect to, again, like coming back to the
let's summarize this up then.
Okay, sure.
Right?
So
Yes.
ठीक है, we started from the problem statement that we have 2 CR budget, the marketing promotional offer budget, and the idea is to use that budget to maximize the GMV, right? What we started with some understanding of what GMV looks like is basically price per order into number of orders per day, right? We also understood that for the simplicity of the this particular question, we are just refraining ourselves to the promotional offers or discounts that come to the app that user can use on the app, right? And then we delved into the segmentation part, right? Where the couple of segmentation that we made were average order value and frequency of the orders in a day, right? That and the और उसका आइडिया ये था कि इलास्टिसिटी डिपेंड्स ऑन दीज बोथ वैल्यूज, बिकॉज आपका जीएमवी उस पर कंप्लीटली डिपेंडेंट है, राइट? तो एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू को हमने 2 सेगमेंट्स में बांटा, एक हाई और एक लो. ऐसे ही फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर्स इन अ डे को हमने 2 सेगमेंट्स में बांटा, हाई और लो. बेसिस दैट हमने वेटेज लिया, हर सेगमेंट में कितने परसेंटेज ऑफ ऑर्डर्स वुड बी कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट we understood कि GMV का contribution कितना है, and basis that we try to understand कि elasticity कितनी किसमें है, और उस elasticity के basis पे कहाँ पे budget ज़्यादा allocate करना चाहिए as compared to कहाँ पे कम करना चाहिए, so that ROI on the 2 crore budget investment would be highest.
Okay.
And
so what would be your final closing 3 pointers on the solution end? Closing
Yeah,
3
so-
pointers.
So the okay, तो आइडिया ऐसा है कि फर्स्टली एवरेज, सो रिलेटिवली एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू इंक्रीज करना आसान है एज कंपेयर टू इंक्रीजिंग द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑर्डर्स. ठीक है. दूसरी चीज, व्हेन वी कम टू द इलास्टिसिटी पॉइंट, जो जहाँ पे एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू कम है और मतलब एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू कम है, वहां पे आपको इलास्टिसिटी हायर मिलेगी बेसिस दी अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट उसमें एडिशनल ऑफर ऐड करना, द परसेंटेज दैट यू कैन इंक्रीज ऑन टॉप ऑफ जैसे 250 रुपए में 50 रुपए इंक्रीज करना आसान है, मतलब हायर इम्पैक्ट है, आसान नहीं, हायर इम्पैक्ट है, राइट. सो these are the top 2 pointers, and basis in the combination of these two you can allocate a strategy. I think like the 2 pointers are something that like I feel makes sense, the first 2 pointers.
Okay.
Got it.
So cool, yeah. Thanks, Harshit. Great interview, and
Yes.
best of luck for the coming interviews. And thank you, guys.